Good evening, students. We are going to see about the subject power plant engineering. In that, the lesson energy, economic, and environmental issues of power plants. So, this is the lesson plan. The module 1 comprises of power tariff types, load distribution parameters, and load curves. In module 2, we are going to see about the comparison of site selection criteria of power plants and relative merits and demerits of power plants. The capital and operating cost of different power plants were to be seen in module 3. And then pollution control technologies of various power plants we are going to see in module 4. And finally, the waste disposal for coal-based power plants and nuclear power plants to be in the module 5. So this is module 1. So power tariff types and then load distribution parameters and then load curves. So what is meant by a power tariff? So the amount of money framed by a supplier for the supply of electrical energy to various types of consumers is known as an electricity tariff or power tariff. It can be told in other words, that is the method of charging a consumer for consuming electric power. So it covers the total cost of producing and supplying electrical energy plus a reasonable cost. So the actual tariff that the customer pay depends on the consumption of the electricity used by the customer. So what is the objective of tariff? What are the objectives of tariffs? The electrical energy is sold at such a rate so that it not only returns the cost but also earns reasonable profit. So that's what we saw in the previous slide, at a reasonable cost. So it includes some profit also. So it should have the following objectives: the recovery of the cost producing electrical energy at the power station. It may be a thermal power station or a diesel, electric or nuclear power plant. We have to recover the cost of producing the energy. So recovery of cost on the capital investment in transmission and distribution systems, and the recovery of cost of operation and maintenance of supply of electrical energy. So you have to recover all those costs. And then a suitable profit on the capital investment of the respective power plant. So these are the objectives of the tariff. So what are the types of power tariff? So there are some 8 types. You can see here the flat demand rate tariff, straight line meter tariff, and then block meter rate tariff, two-part tariff, power factor tariff, seasonal rate tariff, peak load tariff, and then three-part tariff. So let us see one by one. So what is a simple tariff? So when there is a fixed rate per unit of energy consumed, it is called as a simple tariff or uniform rate tariff. So the fixed rate for the energy consumed. So what are the advantages? So the cost does not vary with increase or decrease in number of units consumed because it is a fixed. The consumption of electrical energy at the consumer terminals is recorded by means of an energy meter. So simplest of all tariffs and is easily understood by the consumers. That's what we usually installed in our homes for domestic use. And then what are the disadvantages? So every consumer has to pay equally for the fixed charges irrespective of the load variation. That is, if you use more or use less, you have to pay equally for that consumption. The cost of per unit delivered is high, and then it does not encourage the use of electricity. Since the cost of per unit delivered is high, so the consumer will not use more electricity. That is the disadvantage of simple tariff. And the next one, the flat rate tariff. So when the different types of consumers are charged at different uniform per rates, unit rates, it is called as a flat rate tariff. The consumers are grouped into different classes, and each class of consumers is charged at a different uniform rate. The different classes of consumers are made taking into account their diversity and the load factor. That is, how much load they are going to use, and then what is the load factor for the industry or for any other applications. So they will take into consideration. So what is the advantage of this type of flat rate tariff? So more benefit to different types of consumers, and then it is very simple in calculation. And then this is also having some disadvantages. The separate meters are required for writing load and then power load. That is, in domestic applications, we use only a single meter for all type of loads. In our home use or in our house, we use a single meter for lighting load or on any other load. Whereas in flat rate tariff, we need separate meters for lighting load and then power load. Application of such a tariff is expensive and it is complicated also because we need different meters. And then a particular class of consumers is charged at the same rate irrespective of the magnitude of the energy consumed. Because if suppose somebody is consuming more amount of energy and then the same amount of energy is consumed for some other applications, that is, it is less consumed in some other applications, so it is charged at the same rate. So whether they use high kilowatt or low kilowatt, it doesn't matter. So they are charged at the same rate. So that is flat rate tariff. So next one is block rate tariff. So when a given block of energy is charged at a specific rate and the succeeding blocks of energy are charged at progressively reduced rates, it is called as block rate tariff. That is, the block of energy is charged at a specific rate and succeedingly the rates will be reduced, progressively it will be reduced. So the energy consumption is divided into blocks and the price per unit is fixed in each block. The price per unit in the first block is the highest and it is progressively reduced for the succeeding blocks of energy. So next one is two-part tariff. Here the rate of electrical energy is charged on the basis of maximum demand of the consumer and the units consumed. It is called as two-part tariff. The total charge to be made from the consumer is to be split into two components, that is fixed charges and running charges. The fixed charges depend upon the maximum demand, while the running charges depend upon the number of units consumed. Thus, the consumer is charged at a certain amount of per kilowatt of maximum demand plus a certain amount per kilowatt hour for the energy consumed. That is, this is the equation. You see, the total charges is B into kilowatt plus C into kilowatt hour. Whereas B equal to charge per kilowatt of maximum demand, C equal to charge per kilowatt hour of energy consumed. So what is the advantage and disadvantage of this two-part tariff? So it is mostly applicable to industrial consumers who have maximum demand, that is appreciable maximum demand. So it is easily understood by the consumers. So it recovers the fixed charges by the electricity board, it independent of the units consumed because they are getting it in the first part. What are the disadvantages? The consumer has to pay the fixed charges irrespective of the energy consumed. So even though you use very minimum amount of energy, they have to pay some fixed charges. There is always error in assessing the maximum demand of the consumer. So how much demand he expects or what is the maximum demand. So the calculation of the maximum error, the maximum demand will lead to some error. The next one is the maximum demand tariff. So it is very similar to the two-part tariff what we saw earlier. The main difference is the maximum demand is actually measured by installing maximum demand meter in the premises of the consumer. So in the two-part tariff, we are not installing any separate meter for to find out the maximum demand, whereas here we are installing maximum demand meter. So what are the advantages? The maximum demand is assessed merely on the basis of the rateable value. There are some rates. It is applied to the big consumers who consume more amount of electricity. And then what is the disadvantage? Obviously, it is not suitable for a small consumer. And then separate maximum demand meter is required. In addition to the regular electricity meter, you have to install a separate maximum demand meter. And then the next one is the power factor tariff. the tariff in which the power factor of the consumer load is taken into consideration. So here we are taking into consideration the power factor. So a low power factor increases the rating of station equipment and line losses. So a consumer having low power factor must be penalized. That is, they have to pay a penalty charge. So there are three types of power factor tariff. The first one is KVA maximum demand tariff, and the next one is sliding scale tariff, and then third one is the kilowatt and kVAr tariff. So what is kVA maximum demand tariff? So it is a modified form of the two-part tariff what we saw earlier. The fixed charges are made on the basis of maximum demand in kVA and not in kilowatt. So it is fixed charges are made on the basis of kVA. A low power factor consumer has to contribute more towards the fixed charges. Who uses the low power factor, they have to pay more. And the next one is the sliding scale tariff. It is also called as the average power factor tariff. An average power factor, for example, 0.8 is taken as a reference. If the power factor of the user or the consumer is below the reference, the suitable additional charges are made. If the power factor is above the reference by the consumer, a discount is allowed to the consumer. That is called as the sliding scale tariff. And the next is the kilowatt and kVAr tariff. Both active power and reactive power supplied are charged separately. See, the active power and the reactive power supplied are charged separately. A consumer having low power factor shall have to pay more charges. In the maximum demand tariff, and then the sliding state tariff, and then the KW and then kVAr tariff, a consumer who use low power factor has to pay more charges. So next is the three-part tariff. When the total charge to be made from the consumer is split into three parts, that is fixed charge, and then semi-fixed charge and running charge. The total charge is divided into three parts: fixed charge, semi-fixed charge, and the running charge. And then this one is the case study I cited in the beginning. The case study of the Tamil Nadu Electricity Board tariff. You see, the revised tariff rates with effect from 11/8/2017. This is the one-page statement which is available in TNAB website. You can refer. So the tariff is 1A, 1B, and then 2A, 2B, 3, 4, and then 5. So this is for high tension supply. So the tariff 1A. So these are the category of consumers. You see, industries, registered factories, textiles, tea estates, IT services, and then startup power provider to generators. They were charged at rupees 6.35 per unit. And then the demand charges, that is the maximum demand charges, is 350 rupees per kVA per month. And then energy charges after government subsidy, it is 6.35 because they don't have any subsidy. And then demand charges is 350. So and then 1B, it is for railway traction for electric trains, and then 2A is for the government and government aided electrical education institutions, hostels, government hospitals, public lighting, and then water supply, and then actual places of public workshop. This also same. And then private education institutions and hostels. This also, the tariff is also same. And then all other categories of consumers not covered under high tension 1A, 1B, 2A, 2B, 4 and 5. 4 and 5 are here, where charged at rupees 8. And then, so this is for the consumers fully subsidized by the government. You see here. The lift irrigation societies for agricultural registered under cooperative societies or under any other act, fully subsidized. So the entire charge is paid by the government to the electricity board. This is regarding high tension supply. So next one is the low tension supply. You can see here the tariff is 1A for low tension supply. So for domestic use, handloom, old age home, consulting homes, rooms, nutritional meal centers, etc. So for consumption up to 100 units bi-monthly, you have to pay 2.50 rupees per unit, and then fixed charge is 30 per service, and then it will increase. This is similar to the block rate tariff, and the next one is from 100 units to 200 units, you have to pay 2.50, 30 per service, and then above 200 units, you have to pay for 1 to 100 units 250, on 101 to 200 250, and then 201 to 500 you have to pay rupees 3. And then consumption above 500 units bi-monthly, you can see the split up here. That is block rate. For handlooms and residents, and then 0 to 200 units bi-monthly, it is free. That's why it is seen in blue. So this is another section of that tariff. This is huts in villages, low tension bulk supply, public lighting, government education institutions, private actual place of public worship, cottage industries, power looms, industries, agriculture, commercials, and then temporary activities. You see, for temporary activities, construction of buildings and lavish illumination, additional construction beyond 2,000 square feet in the premises of an existing consumer, they have to pay 12 rupees per unit. So this is the uh, tariff of Tamil Nadu Electricity Board. So the remaining lesson will be continued. We'll see you again. Thank you.